Wow. Well, here we are. Shamar just texted me and said she can see me. Huh? You said you could see me. Hello. I don't even recognize you.
Oh my gosh, I can't hug you properly.
You're so New York now.
Are you excited? Oh, you see. Yeah, I noticed. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, I flipped the camera, oops.
Alright.
Or what is it, straight out of Reno?
Straight out of downtown Devoni. Oh.
How does it feel?
No, look at that though. That is yeah. What are we doing today? Then you can get the hell out of here.
I have to go get ready for my casting in Soho that started 30 minutes ago.
I just walked with Shamari to a casting. It's another Fashion Week thing. Basically, it's like tryouts. Think about like going in front of the cheerleading squad as a girl in freshman year of high school and trying to make the team. That's basically it. So now I just gotta walk around and find something to do for like 30 minutes. Oh wow, I think that's the Empire State Building. See that? There it is. I want to go there, but I need to wait for Shamari because she has another casting after this. And so I'm supposed to be on my best behavior and make sure we get from point A to point B to point C. And she can just focus on being a girl and being pretty and doing what she needs to do. I'm the logistics guy, and the logistics guy can't go do side quests when he's supposed to be on active duty. It's beautiful though. I would love to take you guys here someday. I don't know how I started this video, but whenever I vlog, I just think about my future kids watching it. And so maybe I'll just start talking as if you guys are watching. It really is a blessing to be young and healthy and in one of the biggest cities in the world in the winter with a place to stay. Mara's at another casting right now, so it's just a solo date for me. This is like the cheapest and somewhat healthiest thing I can find to eat here. So yeah, it's this or starving, and I'm just, two things I can't handle are being cold and hungry. I've been cold the entire time I've been here, so you gotta do what you can.
Well, that was announced this morning. You know, 3 young players.
I have no swag. It's just so fucking cold here that it's not even economical to dress nice.
Okay, now let's look down.
Okay, we're all done at the lab, the museum. It is snack and dinner o'clock. Dinner and snack. Yep, and it's so fucking cold. It is so windy.
That's the World Trade Center.
Look at this view though. The World Trade Center is just around the corner. You couldn't look any unhappier if you tried in that. All right, so the run is done. I think we did like 4 miles. It's way easier to run here than in Reno because it's at sea level, so lower elevation, more oxygen in the air, more humid, so it just feels like when you run in Reno, oh Jesus. When you run in Reno for the winter, it feels like you're inhaling sand or something for some reason. The air is just so cold and dry, and it just doesn't doesn't get to where it needs to be going fast enough. And I could have run like 6 miles. And in fact, when we were here in August, I did run 6 miles and I felt really good and I was sweating. I felt like I went in the sauna and it felt so fucking good. But anyways, Shamari's here at least until Valentine's Day, and I leave on Tuesday, which is February 4th. So that means we're not going to spend Valentine's Day together. So I said we would do something, and when I went out on my run, I was like, somewhere on the way back, I'll find a flower shop. And I did, and I got this. I think these are cute. I don't know if you can see them. This is them. Something cute and simple. I got a little card I got to write on, but I love this girl. Obviously I do, but it's important to do things like this. I don't know what the point of really saying any of this is because I don't know who's watching, but it's important to continually remind the people that you care about and that you love that you feel those ways, because believe it or not, even if you feel a certain way about somebody, if you don't express it to them, even if you think you are, it's going to be lost upon them. And so, yeah, that's my long-winded way of saying get flowers for your girlfriend. I think we're going to go to a movie later. I want to take her to this movie that we've been seeing ads on TikTok for. I think it's called One of Them Days. Keke Palmer, SZA. She's still at a casting. She's still at this big one called, I think, Pierre Giorgio, or I think that's the casting director. The way this whole thing works is like there are 5 or 6 really big names in the modeling world who pick the girls who walk in the shows for like Dior, Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, every designer brand you can think of. And 5 or 6 people are in charge of picking all the girls who walk those shows. And so the week leading up to Fashion Week, they go to these things called pre-castings, where they basically just, it's what you've seen on TikTok or on YouTube of these lines of thousands of girls waiting to walk in and meet this guy or these casting people and basically just get picked or get not picked. And it's this, Shamari's told me like 5 different stories from this week about how you walk into a room and you can immediately tell if they like you or not, because if they like you, they'll have you try on stuff, they'll have you walk certain ways, they'll have you stay longer, or you could walk into the room, they'll take one look at you and they'll say thank you, and then you're done, and you know you're fucking cooked because they obviously didn't fuck with you. So it's a tough industry to be in. The hardest part about traveling for me, at least the way we do it right now, staying in hotels, is that I can't cook food, and it's hard to find healthy food that's cheap, especially in a place like New York. I gotta show you this view. This is just fucking absurd. This is what our hotel room view is. It's so overexposed, but just bear with me. Look at that. Ugh, Christ, I'm still learning how to use this camera. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay. Zoom. There we go. Well, there was a boat there a minute ago, but I'll show you over here. Pretty crazy. Look at that, my goodness. While I was on this run, I had a chance to think about what the fuck I'm doing with my life, because I keep going through these cycles, and this is my first video, so I've probably not ever described it, because why would I have? Because I've never posted here before. But the older I get, the more and more I start to see these patterns in myself. And one of them is that I'm simultaneously very extreme on committing to things and also very quick to change my mind on not doing a thing. And I know that makes no fucking sense, and it doesn't, because I don't even understand it. But let me use this thing we're doing right now for an example. We do this data analysis and this conversion tracking thing. We want to come up with a core name for it, but call it conversion tracking because that's how most people know it as right now. But we've been doing it for about 2.5 years now, and about 4 months ago we decided to start trying to sell it as a product instead of doing it as freelance work. I must have made up and changed my mind about doing it 1,000 different times, and I've still somehow 4 months later arrived at the conclusion that it's what I want to do, because I feel like it's something we're so fucking good at that it doesn't make sense to do anything else but this, because I know we can make money doing this. So what I'm really describing is a consistency issue, because I know things I'm good at, I know things I enjoy doing, but as soon as I don't get results from them, or I don't get results as quickly as I think I should, I'm ready to move on to something else, and that is probably my kryptonite. And so I want to focus on being more consistent this year. It's February 2nd, so it's second month of the year already, but what does that actually look like? I want to stick with this idea for the rest of the year, and I want to stick with making videos, because those are the 2 things I know that I'm good at and that I enjoy when they're going well. The problem for me is doing them when they're not going well. And so to put this in a tangible, material way, I want to make $100,000 this year, and I want to reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Now, both of those are going to be really fucking hard to do. I'm more than aware of that, but I've always been the kind of person, and especially last year, who told themselves just show up, who told themselves just show up every day, just do your best. And that's very true. There's nothing in the world you can do if you don't show up. But I think I'm getting to a point where I need something physical, like I need something real, something tangible to strive for. Same way that a soccer player might say, I want to score 30 goals this year, or a boxer might say, I want to win 3 fights this year. I always think in athletic terms, but same way someone in med school might say, I want to get a 4.0 this year. I'm so used to just these like non-physical things and ways of trying to accomplish stuff that I feel like I've just got to do something that's based in the real world, because I spend so much fucking time stuck in my head. And so if I say to myself, I want to hit 100K this year in income and in subscribers, then nothing else matters. If I show up, if I don't, at the end of the day, did I hit that goal when December 31st comes, or did I not? And it's just a very simple way of looking at things that I think I need, because I'm overcomplicating everything. I'm taking consistency out of the equation when it's really all I need. At the end of the day, you can tell yourself all these nice things, but if you don't go and do them, then it's all for fucking nothing. So yeah, as always, not very concise with me, but the point is I want to make 100K this year, and I want to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Where am I at currently as of February 2nd, 2025? Well, I think last month I made like $1,700, and I think that I'm currently at 5 subscribers on YouTube. So we got to make another $98,300, and we've got to get another 99,995 subscribers. Sounds kind of impossible when you think of it that way, and that's why I've always been the kind of person who would say just make 2 videos a week, or just show up every day, or just reach out to 10 people a day. At the end of the day, I think I'm just the kind of person who at this point in my life needs something very simple and very straightforward to strive for. I don't think it's smart to try and like peacefully and tactically build my way there. I think I just have to do an insane amount of shit until I get to that first level, then look back on it and realize how I could do things differently to get to that next level, because I haven't done anything in the world yet. I'm gonna have to work harder. That's the point. And so let's stop talking about it and let's start working on it. Check it out again, because it's worth having.
Okay, so I go into the casting. Pierre Giorgio ordered food, so I'm basically standing there with Pierre Giorgio.
Who's Pierre Giorgio?
Pierre Giorgio is the casting director, like the Beyonce of casting directors. So everybody's in line to walk in, right? I'm next. So no, you gotta be back here. I'm next, and I'm gonna act all cool and casual. So I go, hi. And I don't wait for them to tell me to walk, because why? I know I'm gonna walk anyway. I'm gonna walk, and y'all are gonna pay attention. The fuck? So I start walking. And they go, Pierre Giorgio goes, where are you from? Oh, I'm from San Diego. How old are you? I'm 23. What's your background? I'm Black and Japanese. And then they're cracking jokes. They're telling me I look like Cassie. They're telling me I look like Kimura. You know, we're getting along. And he goes, oh, I want you take your hair down. I'm like, oh, like all the way down? He's like, yeah. So then they have me do my walk again. So then I walk back. I walk. They're like, great, thank you. So that was a really good sign. And I texted Omar, and he goes, ah! And I tell him what happened, and he says, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. You have a place in this industry. There's no one in this industry like you. You're gonna be so great. And then as I'm telling Jacob this story, I get an email. Gucci.
Oh, wait.
Gucci.
Let me focus on it.
Gucci.
Mama likes what she sees. Fit and shit. Oh. Oh my gosh.
I'm so happy. Oh, you want it in the background is what you're saying.
Yeah. I can't. What the fuck? As for myself, for those of you who are curious,
Those of you who's watching this.
I don't know, whoever's watching, you must be curious if you made it this far. It's Monday, which means usually at the beginning of the week we have...
Make 'em Not Monday.
Are you
make.
It always goes like this.
Not-
Okay, I
and
love
make-
you.
No one told you to do it right now. You could have waited till I left.
Nobody told you to start talking the second I started talking.
Yeah. Yeah, who's annoyed now? Y'all, when you do it. Oh, I do it for humor, for my humor when I do it.
Put your redneck ass hat on and get
You're
out
a
of here.
fucking...
Okay, this is how it goes for our clients. Monday or Tuesday, they come into the office, something is broken, they spend the rest of the week trying to hire somebody to fix it, and then they get a meeting set up on Friday and we take it on Monday or Tuesday. So we have a couple of things to do today. Our best clients are agencies because that means they have a bunch of their own clients and that they need us to do work for each of them. And so this meeting I have in 20 minutes at 2:30 is one of those clients. They're an agency. And so that's it. We're just trying to get more work, and Parker and I need to have a meeting this week when I get back about what we're doing. I don't, but yeah, not a bad place to take a meeting. I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna just take the call on the bed with that in the background and be like, yeah, I'm up at the top of this building. Yeah, what I'm thinking right now is short form content, long form content, outreach. Those are the three pillars we need to establish if we are gonna get people to start buying what we're selling, because we've been really good at doing it as freelance work for the past 2.5, almost 3 years. I think I probably already mentioned this. But we want to sell something that people want to buy. And when Parker and I originally thought about this, we wanted to make it a monthly subscription. Our competitors, I don't even know who's watching. This is just for me, honestly, or my kids, so they can see what the fuck I'm doing. We have a couple competitors. They sell this thing as a monthly subscription because what the service we do offers or provides is first-party data for purchases and leads, and all your data, really good data. We charge a monthly cost to proposition, or like basically the monthly cost. God damn it, I fucking hate making this complicated, and this is why I think people won't buy the shit that we're selling, is because it's too fucking complicated. It's not that complicated, but we need to make it simple. Something Shamar and I were talking about last night is how, more so her than me, because she's been busier because she's got to go to a bunch of different castings and shit, is just our frustration about how we haven't had as much time together on this trip as we've wanted to. She's had a lot of stuff, and so we haven't gotten to do as many activities as we would have liked. But we were laying in bed talking about it last night, and I was just thinking to myself, and this is what I said to her, it's just that, like, this is what you have to do if you want to get to a place where we can go on a trip whenever we want to go on a trip, or we can go on a trip in the middle of the week and be able to work wherever we're going. And so she was a little bit upset about the fact that she had to go to so many different castings and all these things that came up last minute that she wasn't expecting and that we hadn't planned for, and that were getting in the way of other plans we had made. And I was just trying to remind her of the fact that, like, you're trying to start a really massive career right now, and you've got to do an unreasonable amount of work at the beginning to push that massive boulder up the hill those first few feet. It's frustrating because it means you have to give up things that you want, and especially when it involves somebody else, like the fact that I came out here to visit her. And by the way, I've had a great trip. I don't feel any of the same ways, but I think I'm just more used to that thought or that mindset. Part of this lifestyle is, yes, putting in a ton of work and not getting a reward for it at the beginning or for a very long time, in the hopes that eventually you put yourself in a position to where you can go take a trip wherever and whenever, because you can take your business with you, or you run your own business so you can take the time off, or you've just built the kind of life that lets you do things freely. And it's hard when you're somewhere in the middle to where you're still indebted to people and having to do things, or not being quite sure if things are actually going to work out. I don't know, I'm rambling again, but I think there's something beautiful about this, I guess. I think there's something beautiful about this is what I guess I'm saying. Not even doing that well financially. We're still in the very early stages of trying to figure out how to make this thing work, but I don't have to have a job. I don't have to have a boss. I don't have to have somebody who makes me put in my paid days off ahead of time, or tells me that I can or can't go on this trip, or that I have to work or not work on it. I got to come here and see my girlfriend who's trying to launch her career and be there for her and support her, just because of one thing I did being just a little bit successful. And I know there is so much more to go. And yeah, maybe it wasn't like the ideal picturesque trip to New York that we had both envisioned beforehand, but I could it have been any other way? Like, we were both vlogging this whole process of us doing something together and kind of going through the trenches together. I mean, obviously we're not actually in the trenches, but the career trenches, the work trenches. And so I want to be able to come back to New York next year with her and be here for a week and a half and stay in a way nicer place. And have the freedom to do whatever we want, or ad days if things aren't going exactly to plan or things like that, just because we've put ourselves in that position. That's all I'm saying. Okay, thanks, bye. So just had a meeting. This was the exact kind of client that we want to have. They are an agency. They're an ad agency who runs ads for ad agencies. And so basically what they explained is that they help ad agencies run really complicated ad campaigns that are like very performance based or involve just a lot of technical shit that your average ad agency can't do. So they have an issue where when they have a client whose client is an e-commerce store that does stuff on Shopify or WooCommerce, or more specifically like a custom coded platform, they have a really hard time pulling the conversion value out of purchases. So for example, in this scenario, actually, I'll just click on the fucking website. Why don't I just literally show you? So, okay, here's the example. They are helping an ad agency run ads for this ticketing platform called ticksonlinenow.com. And so, actually, I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't think that we're allowed to say that. Okay. Pretend you didn't see what the name of the site was, but their client is a ticketing platform that helps. It's getting too fucking complicated already. Person we just met with helps this online ticketing platform run events. And so they don't help them, I guess they do help them run events. So it's custom built, and that means that when somebody finishes checking out, so imagine you're buying tickets to fucking Kendrick Lamar on Ticketmaster, except it's a custom ticket platform called, let's call it Get Tickets Now. Get Tickets Now takes you all the way to checkout. They say this is how many tickets you're buying, this is how much it costs, blah, blah, blah. And then you hit purchase. And you as the customer are like, cool, I came from a Google ad looking for Kendrick Lamar tickets. I found this site that sells really cheap ones and I got good seats, and that's that. Well, the ticketing platform wants to know that you came from an ad and that you bought something. And the most important thing they need to know out of all of that is how much was the shit that you bought worth. How many tickets did you buy and how much did you spend? So if you just bought one ticket for yourself because you're going on a solo date, because you're going through a breakup and your life fucking sucks and you want to go watch Kendrick Lamar sing Not Like Us and think about how you hate everybody else in the world, I don't know. You bought one ticket and it cost $200. So what this ad agency wants to know, because they're running ads for this platform, is how much money are we helping you generate with our ads? Because the ad agency has to come to the client at the end of the month and say, hey, we helped you make $10,000 this month and you only paid us $3,000, so you got a pretty good return. So how about we do another month, you pay us $4,000 and we'll get you $20,000. And so the only way they can do that is if they actually prove that they made you that much money. And the only way they can prove it is if they get the data from the website to the ad platform. And how do they do it? It's with us. And so what we have to do, especially when it's a custom platform, is we have to help write some code that pulls the purchase value, how much you spent on the Kendrick Lamar ticket, the $200. We have to pull the $200 out of the website's data through this thing called the data layer and send it off to Google ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, wherever you're running ads. And so what they literally said on the call was, you are the exact type of person we've been looking for. We just need somebody to handle these more complicated setups. Because the truth is, Google, Facebook, YouTube especially, these channels on YouTube teach you how to do a lot of these things. And you can do a pretty good job of tracking stuff, but you can't do a perfect job of tracking stuff. And if you're an ad agency whose business literally depends on running good ads, then you need to be able to confidently say, we made you this much money and you spent this much. So, but my lovely, beautiful girlfriend just texted me and her casting is over and that's our last full day here. And so I am gonna have to do that later because we need to spend time together and do stuff while the sun is still out, because it's a beautiful day out there. I know for a fact it's cold as fuck and it's misleading, but we only have one more day and then I don't know when I'm gonna see her again, because depending on how things go, she might be going to Europe. And so I was wrong. Shamari has to take like a 30-minute train ride to get to the next casting, so I don't have to go yet. So I'm talking to my business partner. Basically, we just did a project, same shit I just described, for this website called lubealiciousLube.com. Very, very creative name. You can probably guess what they sell. They sell a bunch of sex toys and general intimacy products. His problem was the new Shopify updates were making it hard for him to send his purchase data to Google ads, to Facebook ads, to anywhere. And so we wrote some custom code, we got it sent over, and now he runs his own ads, and I don't think he knows how to that well. So he's asking us a bunch of questions, because one thing we did was we sent over some remarketing data, which means when you, the viewer, are shopping for something, like, let's say you're shopping for lube, because, that's what this example is. You click on the fucking strawberry flavored one, and you add it to your cart, but you decide not to do it at check. You decide not to purchase it because you were just horny at the time. So Google Ads could take that data from you adding it to your cart and send you a dynamic remarketing tag, or ad is what it's called. So, you know, when you add something to your cart and then you see it in your feed or your search bar later and you're like, what the fuck, I added that to my cart. That's where that comes from. This conversation we've had for probably at least a year at this point is, we already set up the data for a lot of these people, and it seems like a lot of them don't even know how to use it. Why don't we just run the ads for them? Running ads for people is hard. The technicals aren't actually that hard, but it's like my dad puts this perfectly, I think, like people get weird once you start spending their money. And so every time I've run ads for somebody, the moment we've started spending their money, because you have to put budget into the ads to try and make money off of them, it doesn't just come from nowhere like organic content, people start tweaking out. And so we had a couple clients who would just shit their pants as soon as things weren't going well for a few days, and it kind of put me off of the whole thing. But I think we could get good at learning how to do it. I mean, it's what literally every fucking 20-year-old online does, and they seem to be crushing it, so I don't think there's a reason we couldn't do it. Shamari's finishing up her casting right now, so I'm gonna meet her. We're gonna go to a photo booth, take Polaroids, and then I think we're just gonna hang out because it is my last night, sadly. But as sad as it is, I'm ready to get back home and lock back in. I need to get out of Reno. Doesn't have to be here, but I don't know, bro. Something about being around so many people and so many different things happening all at once, it does something to you. And for some reason, every time I go back home, I'm so impassioned. I'm like, I need to figure out how to get out of here. I need to make this happen. And then over the course of the next couple weeks, months, years, the feeling just starts to fade away, and I start getting so wrapped up in all the shit that I'm doing there every day, and I lose sight of what this is. And I mean, how could you not feel some kind of way when you're looking at something like this? I think it's time. So in addition to making 100K and getting 100K subs, I need to get at least 100 miles out of Reno. Post up for me real quick. Damn, your outfit is hard as fuck. I can't lie. Bro's posted up at the dock. I wish.
That high ass angle.
Wow.
Oh, I stopped.
Go ahead.
Me when I'm around.
You wanna meet?
It's so cool. Okay, we're gonna go Uber to the cookie place.
Uber everywhere. Yummy? I love you.
I love you too. Please eat it before it gets cold.
Okay.
I've been waiting all